Tree National Park by GEMMA Sky. Some interesting stone features along the way. So I was channeled some information the other night about a lot of different national parks that seem to be in America and Hawaii. And Ozzy was talking to me about these national parks and their spiritual significance for him, and why he would like to go there one day and to do the work he needs to do with the energy lines there. So the first one he went into great detail about is Joshua Tree National Park in California. California is very important energy line. It's on all the ley lines and it's on all the fault lines, and because of these two intercrossing all the time, I get like a woven effect of energy. So when that fault line vibrates with energy, so do those ley lines fault with energy, and it creates all these little prisms under the ground, with one of the fault lines and one of the ley lines coming together and creating a light of prisms under there, and they all just go up and down that line. So a lot of people are called to California for many reasons, and are called to the national parks there for many reasons. It's to stand on those light prisms and to get activated and to get energy. So that was one thing he was showing me about California, and that also needs to change a lot of its karmic lines, because there could be many changes in the future that could happen to California if we don't honour and fix those energy lines of those light prisms, and to give them actual energy and enhancement, and to honour them basically, and to let them grow. But we have to change a lot of the karmic lines and the old programmings and the old ways of those lines. And I've just been told that we have to like flush the lines, and the only way to flush the lines is to work on those old energy patterns there, and to clear them and to release them, and to let all the entities go that are trapped in the different trees and rocks and civilizations there, and a lot of underground civilizations. So we just have to have the awareness of them all, and people who are earth alignments, or people that place symbols or crystals or anything like that got to do with aligning, need to go to these places and do the majority of the work. A lot of the work has been done with Mayan temples and South America, but not a lot of has been done with North America. The Native American Indians, of course, do a lot of the rituals, and a lot of the shamans come in and do a lot of rituals. But then we have to get all the psychic and all the spiritual people to go in there and also do all the alignment work as well. It shouldn't just be left to the local tribes or to shamans, that all of us have that knowledge and wisdom within us, and to go there and to do whatever we feel we need to do is of utmost importance. So anyway, what I could psychically see, and I've never been to Joshua Tree National Park. I have been to California when I was young. I was 15. I went over to America, and so I've been to many places there, and I have been to California, but I actually haven't been to Joshua Tree National Park. So what I could see psychically was the boulders there are red and stunning, and it's very sandy, and it's very, very, very hot. I just was over consumed with so much heat. Like, you'd have to walk around in a big bikini covered in sunscreen, you know, like that ad, and that beer ad, and he gets the spray thing and he covers that guy all in white from the sunscreen. You'd have to be like that there. It's just, I just get extreme heat, and bouncing off the sand and bouncing off the boulders. And then at night it could become really chilly. So you've got the two real extremes or polarities there straight away. But I also pick up that the boulders there are such high spiritual frequencies, and they're calling shamans, and they're calling light workers, and they're calling people who do alignments, are drawn to these boulders. And there's one particularly there that I can see that is very large and very, very old and very, very sacred. And people go around this one, and there's something about a gold connection there with it, that they all have to gather around it, and it's just massive in energy. A lot of UFO visitations, a lot of spiritual entities walk around there. A lot of the old elders and tribe members are around there who have passed on. A lot of animal spirits there that are changing forms and changing states are there. I can also smell like the sand has got some different kinds of particles in it, that it's not like beach sand. It's more, I don't know, it's got a high grade of something in it, because my nose just goes tingly. So I feel like there's something different there about the sand. I'm being told do not take anything off the property or off the national park. Like, don't take a boulder home, or you wouldn't be able to do, but take a rock home, or take a stick home, or anything like that, or some wildflowers home. I can see certain times of the years these beautiful wildflowers coming out. Don't take anything home, because everything on that land is so sacred. And I feel if you take it home and you're trying to tap into its energy, I think you could be getting more sick than actually doing you any favors. So if you do have anything from Joshua Tree, take it back. Send it back. Take it back. Put it back into its sacred spot, because I just feel like you're not supposed to have it at home. It's doing its purpose there on site. Pardon me. I also get connected with Aussie. There's something got to do with the skull there. I see big eyes. I see a little mouth. I see a skull, unusual skull shape in a rock. I feel like people can go inside it. People go around it and climb on it. I see boulders with archways, and I see big, massive boulder like right in your face. But the skull rock, I just want to keep calling it skull rock, keeps popping into my head. That is where Aussie needs to be, and sit in the middle of skull rock and energize the energy, because he's telling me if he does that, then all the crystal skulls in America that are at certain civilizations or ancient civilizations there will come alive, and will be aligned and will be enhanced. And then they'll start communicating to the caretakers that they want to communicate with. And then caretakers will be activated and will go and find them. So he says it's important for him to go there to start that line of skulls to come out. So that's quite interesting. Definitely with California, I keep getting a lot of Lemurian beings that come around and visit each of the sites. I wouldn't say they're there all the time, but I feel like they pop in and out. Very tall, very skinny, kind of darkish eyes. They can wear robes. Sometimes I'm seeing them in white robes, and sometimes I'm seeing them in black robes. So I don't know if they're two different beings or entities, or if they're the same ones who maybe just dress a little bit different. But I'm definitely getting told Lemurian beings, and they go to these national park areas and these sacred sites. They work in a lot with the inner beings and the inner earth beings and civilizations within mountains, and in boulders and in areas like that. So they're definitely there for a reason as well. I get a lot of alien encounters in Joshua Tree. Like, I just get there's a base nearby. Could be a military base nearby. Maybe they're working on UFO technology and they're flying around. But I'm also getting, not only could it be our American military, but I'm also getting it could be actual UFOs coming down as well. I keep feeling like there's an interaction, like the government knows they're coming, the government communicates with them, they work together, hand-in-hand operation, I just got told. But They're definitely around the outskirts, borders of Joshua Tree. I also think there could be a lot of Bigfoot encounters up there as well. I keep seeing flashes of these furry beings, tall, popping out behind trees and observing people. So I'd say there'd be some Bigfoot, maybe a Bigfoot community up there. I'm getting like four adults and no, they just said 3 adults and 1 juvenile up there. As I said, a lot of the fault lines, there's a lot of magnetic energy up there. I think compasses would go crazy. I think people would be sensing the magnetic energy. Maybe the sand is holding that. That's what I was saying before about the smell. Maybe it's holding the magnetic energy there too. I feel like a lot of people who go there get bing bing and get aha moments and spiritual confirmations, and a lot of psychics and a lot of spiritual people go up there for that aha moments. And I feel like a lot of the star beings have communicated down here with people. I'm seeing someone building a dome, using it for energy, using it for the star beings, using it to change the world, change the planet. But I'm getting told it wasn't completed, or wasn't done right, or hasn't finished. So that needs to be done, because that's going to help helping in these times that we're going through. So someone needs to re-look at that project and get it up and going again, or something like that. So that's a little bit for more. I'll go through a little bit more later. Thank you. This tree and this altar rock being here on the side, and then another rock being on the other side, and the boulder really grabs my attention. And sitting underneath this tree, which I would call the shaman tree, and being surrounded by the 2 rock features either side, and the little canal going into the middle would be a part of the initiation process to get ready for the energy of this place. Hi, so part 2 of Joshua's Tree. The other information I was getting from there was people have been given messages by star beings there, and people need to listen to those messages, or to finish those messages, or to get onto it, because they've listened, but I don't think there's exactly accomplished what they need to do. So they need to get stuck onto that to help that place. I'm also getting there's a huge pyramid there, made out of stone and cut really finely, and that people have to find that it is there. Could be underground, because I don't think it's above ground. I keep getting pulled downwards, so it's probably underground. Also, a lot of UFO abductions seem to happen there, and I keep seeing marks on people's body and on their arms of little red bruised triangles. I think it's connected to the underground pyramid there. So they're not actually taken up into ships to get experimented on. They're getting taken into the pyramid there to get experimented on. So it's kind of like on cattle where they leave their mark of where they've been. It's the same sort of thing. They've left this pyramid mark on their body to say, yes, you've been there. And often it goes in family lines. So if you think, why has this happened to me, you might have to ask your parents or your grandparents or aunties and uncles and people around you, because I feel like it goes through a family lineage, and whoever's been marked, you know, the old thing of mark of the beast is 666. Well, it isn't actually that. It's not a beast. They're just star beings, and it's just a star being mark of the place that you've attended. You might have had to do some initiation there or some experiment work there, but it's a part of that. So it's not the mark of the beast. It's just how people have interpreted it. It is the mark of a galactic federation, basically. It's almost like a bruised mark as well. There's also connections there with the Anunnaki, and I know everyone goes, Anunnaki, crazy, oh, they're evil, oh, they're yucky. Not all of them are evil, yucky. Just like any generation or any race, there's the good and the bad, and the same with the Anunnaki. There's some of them that are not so nice, and there's a lot of them that are quite nice and here for good and here for great measures and here for learning. There's a lot of the Anunnaki that don't want the golden age to happen and don't want alignments done and don't want this information out. So it's the same thing. In any race, like I said, you have the good apples and you have the bad apples. But let's not just concentrate on the negative side of the Anunnaki. Let's also concentrate on the positive side of them as well. There's something there about trying to create a slave race there to build that in-house underground pyramid, and they created people or hybrids to do that, but they knew they couldn't conquer them all, or they couldn't do it forever. It was only a limited time, limited process. And as soon as it was completed, people were released, or there was a change. There was something big that happened. Almost like a bit of an explosion, I get, but not like as we would know an explosion, but like explosion of light or explosion of energy that happened. And that released a lot of the slave race. I'm not saying there wasn't other slave races that came after that. I think there were. But I think they were one of the first slave races that were there in America. Was that definitely at Joshua Tree National Park. And I feel like some of the Anunnaki are still there in that pyramid, as I was saying. Not all of them are there, but there's still a few, like a few guardians, a few people that protect that area, a few entities that roam around the national park. They let certain people in and give their messages, and other people, they won't let anyone near it. So it'd be great to take Aussie there and see if we could communicate with the Anunnaki there, and see if we were allowed into the pyramid and allowed to observe what was going on. Would be fantastic as well. I also get called about this arch rock. It kind of goes like that, and people can walk under it and climb over the top of it. That you don't have to be skilled climber there, but a bit of climbing knowledge would definitely help. But this arc rock also calls me through Aussie, so I've got to go to the skull stone or the skull rock, the arc rock, the boulder, and the pyramid. Are the 4 huge places that go ding 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 in my head. So that's the spiritual information I've received about Joshua Tree. I hope it made some sense to you. Talk to you again another time. Thank you. A picture of Skull Rock at night with lights coming out of the eyes, and where Ozzy wants to sit in between these 2 eyes. The heart-shaped rock. I would love to sit on top of this heart-shaped rock and to meditate and to see what I pick up from this rock formation. See if it's related to unconditional love at all. Another very interesting rock formation that I found through my research. This one definitely calls me. I can definitely see Native American Indians here in this area, the elders, the spirits of them hanging around, and I see a lot of birds sitting on these rocks. And this is the archway rock that I kept seeing in my visions, and I'd love to stand underneath it and lie on the top of it at night and to see what I would pick up here. I could see once it was a real magnificent cave, and it's just been eroded away. Some other interesting rock formations. Looks like a stone hedge kind of a formation or an old civilization to me up there as well. Again at Joshua Tree, a little creek bed, lots and lots of different rock formations and different stones, and the tree overshadowing the water, I'm getting told is like a grandmother tree energy. Some beautiful spiritual photos of the area with the prisms of light. These show up when you're on the fault lines and on the ley lines. And from my research, I found the skull rock that I kept seeing with a little knob on the top of his head and his very defined eyes and nose. This one really, really draws me. And again, here we have the shaman tree with what I call the altar rock. And it's a definitely strong guardian being in this rock here. And I could keep seeing a pyramid that I thought might have been below ground or above ground. What this one is above ground is also below ground as well. So I kept seeing this one as being inside of here, some sort of a civilization, some sort of an energy or vortex point. And the three boulders at the front remind me of the Trinity rocks. And here again is some prisms of light with a beautiful red orb of light going through it with the indigo colour as you're leading up to Joshua's tree. Here's some beautiful photographs of Joshua's tree and some other rock formations. And over there on the corner I can actually see like a big lizard face. Or maybe perhaps it's the rainbow serpent. Another beautiful photo of Joshua's tree. The end.